calculating the slope from two given points. We have already learned how to calculate the slope from a graph. The graph has a y-axis and the x-axis, and if we have a line on the graph, to calculate the slope of this line, we need 2 points on that line. Now, these 2 points on the line, A and B, have coordinates. Let us say the coordinates of the point A are x1 on the x-axis and y1 on the y-axis, and the coordinates of the point B are x2 on the x-axis and y2 on the y-axis. To find the slope using these 2 points, we need the rise and the run. We have already established that slope is calculated by finding the rise and divided by the run. So to find the slope using the point A and B, we need 2 general points. We have a point A here with coordinates x1 and y1. You could see the x coordinate of the point A labeled as x1. This one here is just a name to show that this is the first coordinate that we have picked on the x-axis, and its corresponding y coordinate is y1. And we have the point B here with coordinates x2 and y2. So if we were to write the coordinates of B next to the point B, it will look like x2, y2. And if we were to write the coordinates of the point A next to the point, it will look like x1, y1. So how do we calculate the rise? The rise for this from A to B is shown on this vertical of the triangle right here. From this top of the point B to the bottom line of this triangle, that will be the rise. So this is a distance that will be the rise. But how do we calculate this distance? If we move this all the way here and we look on the y-axis, then we see that the rise goes from y1 to y2. And to measure that rise from y1 to y2, we can calculate that by doing y2 minus y1. So that is the rise. The run in the same way goes from x1 all the way to x2. So to calculate this whole run, we do x2 minus x1, so that the slope can be described, can be calculated now as the rise over the run, but then the rise is y2 minus y1 divided by the run is, so this is the run right here, the run is x2 minus x1. So this is a rule, a general rule that can be used every time to calculate the slope if we have 2 points. Now let's make it concrete by getting an example that has actual numbers. So let's find the slope given the points. Find the slope given. Now let's give actual numbers to the points A and B. So let's find the slope given the point A, -3, 2, and B, a point with coordinates 1, -4. Okay, so we have learned that to find the slope given 2 points, we need to label the points. So this is my A here. I will go to this point, I label x1, y1 to stay organized. I go to my B point here, I label x2, y2. Then I am now using that rule. We're going to use that rule, which is also called a formula. So we are going to say that the slope is equal to, now instead of writing y2, we take the actual number for y2 and we're going to plug it in there and put a fraction bar and we subtract. Okay, now I use these boxes because some of the numbers come with a negative sign and I don't want you to be confused between this minus sign and the negative sign of a number. That said, the slope now will be y2. You can see here that our y2 is -4, so you want to put -4 in that box, minus y1. y1 is over here for the other point. You can see y1 is 2, so you put 2 in that box. So x2 is 1. You put 1 in this box, minus x1 is -3. Put -3 in that box. So at this point, you just need to simplify the fraction to get the slope. Start with the numerator. You do -4 minus 2, that should be -6. Fraction bar. Now you do 1 minus -3. Remember that when you subtract a negative number, it tends to adding a positive number. So 1 minus -3 is the same as 1 plus 3. So at the denominator here, you get 4. So that is the slope. You could simplify that fraction to get your slope in simplest form. The slope is always best in simplest form because slope is also described as the unit rate. So -6 divided by 4. You can simplify this fraction by dividing the numerator by 2 and also dividing the denominator by 2, so that your slope is now -3 over 2. So what does this slope mean? This slope means that the line drops 3 units for every two units to the right. So that is what that slope means. The change in the y is a negative, which is dropping, and the change in the x is a positive, which is going to the right.